This is the Relaxed Male, a show that comes to you each week helping men to remove the nice guy from their life so they can actually live their life on their terms. Join the host, certified coach Brian Goodwin, as he helps men step out of their heads and become free from the thoughts that bind them. Hey man, hello and welcome to Relaxed Male. All right, this week on episode 132, we're going to be talking about 3 tests that women like to run on their men. But before we do that, I'd like to just say hello and welcome to all the new listeners that we're getting, and say thank you for everybody who has been sharing this out. We've been doing a great up and to the right. Had a little bit of a dip in May, which is typical because school's getting out. So things are slowing down, not having as much time to, people are going to start going on vacation. So not listening to as many podcasts. And that's normal. It's typical that happens on this, but I'd love to still see everything continue to go up and to the right. So as September rolls in, all of a sudden there's going to be this huge spike as people get back into listening to podcasts. If this is your first time listening to the show, man, I want to welcome you, say congrats and thank you very much for listening to the show. I am Brian Goodwin. I am a certified men's coach who helps men with getting the nice guy out of their life, kicking him to the curb so that men can actually start living the life on their terms and start living completely, instead of playing it small, playing it safe, because being a nice guy, you're not a nice guy to say it any more plainly. And to be able to live your life on purpose and not sacrifice yourself for a like from somebody else is one of the most freeing things that a man can actually do in this world. Now, jumping into the main topic, our women for eons and eons have been testing us. It's not anything, to see if there's intelligent life in there or anything like that. It's more of women need to be able to understand where they stand at in relation to us. Can they trust that you're going to be there? That'd be a great way to say that. Whether they actually realize it or not, they actually do run little tests on us. And there's 3 that are pretty big. Now, I'm not talking about like the test where, your wife suspecting that you may be cheating, so she talks her girlfriend into trying to seduce you to see if we cheat. That's not what I'm talking about. Those are very underhanded, and those are tests that are designed to prove that you're a bad guy. I'm talking about, there are 3 tests that they want, and they hope for, against everything in their being, that you are the strong guy that they actually need in their life, the man that they need to have. And so there are some tests that come about, and we'll break these down a little bit further, but the 3 tests are you willing to give up your dreams for? Are you willing to give up your friends for? And are you willing to stop becoming better for her comfort? And all these are important tests that they run, because they, like I said, they need to understand that you're going to be there for them, that you are the right one for them. So if they know whether they're doing it or not, honestly, I don't know, but I see these tests come up in men's lives time and time and time again. We have, you go out you've got that one guy who goes out and with his buddies to go camping, and they're just in cell signal at land. They haven't quite gotten far enough out into the wilderness to where there's no signal at all. And the whole time the guy is texting his wife, she is just, going at him, trying to convince him that he needs to go ahead and come on home, that this is stupid. She needs him at the house. There's too much to do. He doesn't need to be out enjoying his life, camping or doing whatever it is, taking it easy while she stayed at home with the 3 kids. And so they're constantly texting and bickering, and the guy's not losing, the explorer spirit and not wanting to go on the adventure anymore, because he's becoming miserable because she won't let up on him. That's another type of test that actually goes on, and that actually more falls along the line of, are you willing to stop bettering yourself so that she can feel better about herself. And so you can look at these and have the thought of, oh, good grief, can't she just trust me? Well, she could just trust you. But at the same time, she's had men fail her before. If she's dated anybody before she dated you, she's had men fail her before. And so she needs to make sure, she needs to be that reinforcement of certainty that you're the right guy in her life. She, like I said, if she does, I don't know if they realize that they are doing these tests or not, but they do. And the first one being, are you willing to give up your dreams for her? And this comes in a lot of ranges. Some are just will stand smack dab in your way. You try to do something. It's kind of like in Reddit, there was this, don't know why the guy was doing it, but there's a Reddit that kind of went viral about a woman complaining that her boyfriend or husband, anyhow, the guy was going out and he was digging a tunnel. Why was he digging the tunnel? I don't know why he's digging the tunnel. And she doesn't know why he's digging the tunnel. The only one who really knows why he's digging the tunnel is the guy that's digging the tunnel. And she was trying to figure out how she could get him to stop digging this tunnel. It was shored up nicely. It's all taken care of. It looks good. He's just, for whatever reason, digging this tunnel underground. And she was wanting to stop him. That is why his dream was to, build this tunnel for whatever reason. Now, I went ahead and I looked it up and I found the subreddit. It's under the subreddit of advice, and it's how do I get my boyfriend to stop digging this tunnel? Link to this is on the show notes, and you can find the show notes over at relaxedmale.com/132. But anyhow, I'll just read it real quick. So I know this is a weird question, but my boyfriend likes to spend a lot of time of his free time digging a tunnel on some property that he inherited. I haven't seen the full extent of it, but last I saw it was remarkably deep under the surface. He spent roughly a year on it, and it's evident from the front of the thing is deep, wide, well put together at the front, which is the only part that I've seen. He's got cement beams, electric lights, even chairs and a small table. I haven't gone into it, but it looked like the quality severely drops as the tunnel went further, mostly becoming open dirt with some wood beams holding it up. My biggest concern is his safety, and I'm really worried that he's going to dig too deep and it's all going to collapse on him or something. And I've tried voicing this concern to him. He just laughs it off and assures me that he'll be fine. Aside from some safety concerns, it's also the fact that he doesn't really have a second life, have a social life because of this thing. I'm pretty much the only person he still talks to outside of his job. He doesn't go out, doesn't do anything anymore. He used to be that he'd occasionally head out and do some digging on the weekends, but now he spends most of his free time out there. He still comes home. He barely spends any time with me, and I know that he isn't doing anything but digging that damn hole in the ground. That can't be good for his mental health, but I don't know how to convince him to stop. He's always really happy when he comes back from digging, which is why I haven't seriously tried to stop him. But I was talking to a friend about him, and she told me that he might be going crazy. Obviously, I don't think he's insane, but I hadn't considered the mental health aspect of this, and I just don't know what to do. Well, you can, and then the TLDR, boyfriend spends all his time digging a tunnel. I'm worried for his physical and mental health. Okay. The physical, mental health, all that stuff. Those are thoughts that she's having. But she's wanting him to stop. He has this dream for whatever reason, whatever crazy reason he has. His dream and what he believes his purpose is to dig this hole in the ground, this tunnel. And sounds like he's doing a pretty bang up job on it. I mean, he comes home. He's happier than ever coming home from digging. Why would a woman want to stop that? Well, she's got her own set of thoughts. It's going to fall on him. Well, he's been doing it for a year. It hasn't fallen yet. And she hasn't expressed what it is about this tunnel that really scares her, because it's not the fact that it might fall on him. He's done everything he could to assure her that it's not going to fall. There's another reason in there that she's got a thought rallying around in there, something about why he is digging this particular tunnel. But this is this guy's test. This woman is actually testing him, going, hey, I can't get him to stop. He's really happy when he comes back from digging. So most people would go back and go look at that and go, well, so you want him to become more miserable. And that could, there could possibly be it. I don't know all the sites, but at the same time, this guy is having a good time. He's got a purpose. What that purpose is, who knows? Maybe he's going to get, $400 million if he digs this tunnel for some drug cartel. So who knows? I don't know. You don't know. We don't know. But the guy is actually digging this tunnel, and this woman wants him to stop. So is he willing to give up that dream for her? Right now, he's saying no, I'm not going to give up that dream. And that is a really good sign of a man who has got a purpose. He's laser focused in on what he wants to do. He's not going to waste his time sitting back, drinking beers and doing nothing, not being productive. He wants to be out there digging his hole, getting further down getting to whatever his end goal actually is. But yet, a lot of times the women in our lives, they see us on a purpose, and we start getting really focused, and they will start to kind of almost like they're stepping in the way. They're like going, whoa, are you sure about this? And that's what times that they do that. That's because they are uncertain as to what the outcome is going to be. Are you going to become wildly successful at this business that you're doing, and you're just going to leave her high and dry? Well, I'm not a mind reader, nor am I a fortune teller. So honestly, I don't know, but I can do what I can to assure that no, she is along for the ride if she wants to come along. Often, if you're busy or doing something and all of a sudden crises start to crop up. Oh my gosh, this has got to go. This has got to happen. This has got to happen. Stuff that, it has to pull you away from what you're wanting to do. That's where it really can actually start getting really challenging for men. And that with this test, because if they're really crucial, important things that are happening and you need to face them, then you've got to turn around and actually face them. And so are you willing to make up the lost time at a later time in the evening? So maybe when you get home, she's trying to cook, and so she throws all the kids at you, and you have to take care of the kids. All right, great. Well, take care of the kids. And then once the kids are in bed and wife is settled down for the night, you can stay up for an extra 2-3 hours and get something done on whatever it is what your project is. But this test is essentially just to see how well do you believe in your dream? Do you believe in that dream, your purpose, enough to where she's not even going to be able to dissuade you? If you can show her that, yes, she is still important in your life, but you've got to get this done no matter what it is. If you don't get it done, you are going to be just the deepest, saddest, guy on the face of the earth, because you're not fulfilling your need. You're not answering your call. When she understands that, that's when she will start to accept and starts to encourage you even more than what she does before. Because even though you have the most wonderful wife and she's cheering you on, you start getting a little bit of success. You start getting stuff moving, and things start to change a little bit. That really wigs her out, because us as humans don't like change very well, because change is uncertainty. Uncertainty is uncomfortable, and uncomfortable is, where we grow, but also our brains start really wanting to scream. And so she wants to know, are you going to be okay with all this change? This is a lot of change. Things are going really fast. And your idea of what really fast is and her idea of really fast are going to be two different characters. They're going to be two different critters, completely different. And so you have to help her to manage her mind, and you've got to be able to manage your mind as you are trying to navigate the comfort she needs, and the affirmations that she's going to need to be able to know, hey, everything is great. Everything's good. I still love you, babe. We're going to make this work. It's going to be amazing when it happens. Yes, it's scary right now. It's okay. You can be scared. Be scared. And we're going to make it through this little spot, and we're going to be better for it on the opposite side. That's one of the jobs of a man, is we actually have to be able to explain this is what's going to happen. And if we don't explain it well enough, then yeah, our wife is going to become very nervous and very scared. And she's going to pull this, she's going to start using this test. Are you really going to know what you're doing? Are you sure? And she's going to start kind of stepping in on your dream and testing. Do you really want this dream this bad? And the answer, if you firmly believe it, then yeah, you're going to say, yes, babe, we've got this. This is what I have to do. And you will continue no matter whether she gets really irate about it. And nice guys, sadly, that's where we start to fall down. If our woman in our life gets really upset and really emotional about us continuing to do whatever our dream is, she's going to start ratcheting the emotions up a little bit more and a little bit more, a little bit more. Can you face that emotional rough seas? As she's going into her land of scared and scarcity and fear and all that. If you can, great. When you get to the other side, she's going to see how much further along y'all got while she was in her little panic mode. Another one is, are you willing to give up your friends for her? Now, this one happens. You see this happen most of the time with young couples. Now, this could be, boyfriend, girlfriend, or a lot of times it really starts to crank up whenever engagements kick in, because all of a sudden, girlfriend, now fiance, is going, you know what? I really don't like Kevin. He gets drunk all the time. Y'all do nothing when y'all hanging around with him. Y'all just sit around. Y'all are stupid. Y'all play card games or video games all night. And it just, I don't like it when Kevin's around. He's a bad influence on you. Like you're a 12-year-old kid, And is he a bad influence? Who knows? He may be. Because we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And our wives want to make sure that we are spending some time with them so that they have influence over who we are. And that's good. Our wives should have influence over what our decision making is, have influence over what we do in our lives. Doesn't mean that they direct our lives. That doesn't mean that they tell us how to live our life. They just have the means of having an influence. But yet especially when we're freshly married and the honeymoon phase is still kind of going on, and your wife gets upset that you're heading out with the boys again, for the second time this month. And she's just going, really? You're going out with them again? Well, yeah, it's camping season. We go camping. You know this. For the past 4 years, we've been going camping every other weekend from March to August. That's what we do. And she can put her foot down and she can go, I don't want you doing that. And you have the choice of going, sorry guys, I can't make it. Or you can start you start accepting, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you're 10 years into your marriage and you go to see what your friends are up to, and you realize you really don't have any friends. And guys who are going through a divorce really notice this. This is when it really hits them, and they realize that they don't have any friends in their life because they have given all their attention to their wife, and their wife is sick and tired of them being the only, being their only person for support. And so the women get tired of it. They're tired of taking care of the guy in the relationship. The guy in the relationship, you take care of them, but yet somehow this has gotten completely flipped around. And now the wife is taking care of the man, and they don't like it. That's not what they were signed up for. They were wanting to be taken care of. And so all of a sudden they get tired of taking care of the nice guy because he doesn't want to upset his wife. And so they file for divorce. They leave. They all of a sudden find a guy who is a heck of a lot more masculine and is doing his own thing no matter what she wants to watch, how she, whine and cries to him. He's like, well, I'm still going out for a motorcycle ride. You can either be okay with it or you can stay at the house. It doesn't hurt my feelings. You can come along if you want, or you can stay home. When we ditch our friends, we ditch a major part of what masculinity is. We need masculine men in our lives. We need to have those guys that we go and we talk to on a regular basis. And sometimes that really gets uncomfortable for a woman, because she may only have 1, 2, 3 friends of herself. And all of a sudden, if you're starting to really, especially if you're growing your network and you're trying to get, even more men into your network and into your inner circle and build your band of brothers, that's when women will actually get really uncomfortable, because all of a sudden you've got more friends than them. And what if they pull you away? I mean, it could happen, but most men, that's not the case. You're just being a man and having the masculinity of these other men that you've chosen to live your life purposefully with can be a bit scary for a woman. And same as if all of a sudden your wife, who has been a homebody all her life, and all of a sudden turns around and starts going out every day of the week and hanging out with her friends and stuff, you would start getting a little worried about it too. You'd be going, is she seeing somebody else? What's going on here? She can't have that many friends out of nowhere, can she? Well, yeah, she could, but it's completely up to how you think. It's about your thought process. So are you willing to give up your friends for her? If not, that's great. You become a better man. You help her become a better woman, because the fact that you are a better and more masculine man. You are pouring yourself into other men, and those men are pouring themselves back into you. You're able to turn to them for the negative, to offload the negative energy, so that you can take the positive energy that you have inside of you and give it to your wife and help her to have a better life. Now, the third test is, are you willing to stop getting better for your comfort? And this, again, like the example I was given before, when you have a group of guys that go out camping and they have the one guy whose girlfriend she's unsure about herself. She has her own self-doubts. And so she is very codependent and looking to boyfriend to give her affirmations, to affirm to her that she is worthy. And if he leaves, then she's seeing that as she's not worthy enough to keep him around. And so she's going to blow up the phone. And our wives will do this often if you start getting into shape. Say you've decided, you know what? I am tired of eating pizza and donuts all the time. I'm tired of being 100 pounds overweight. It is time for me to get my butt into shape. And you start eating cleanly. You start going out. You may start walking, eventually going to the gym, and you start getting yourself in shape. And as you bulk up, you might start noticing your wife is coming up with reasons as to why we really need to get rid of that gym membership. We're fixing to go to the Smith's house at 6, and knowing that every Wednesday at 6 is your time when you go to the gym. You start seeing these little time intersections of roadblocks for your health, and you can say, okay, well, let's go to the Smiths, and when we come back, I've got another 24-hour gym membership that I'll go to, and I'll just go to the gym membership afterwards. And she may accept it, thinking that you're probably just going to be too tired when you get home. But if you don't, and you continue going, it may stir up even more work or more worry and anxiety in her. And a lot of that happens on the opposite side. But when you start getting yourself into shape and you start getting better, you're going to create anxiety and uncertainty in her, because all of a sudden you're becoming a lot more attractive. You're becoming more physically fit, and you're becoming a lot more attractive, and she's not done much. So she's going to have the worries and the fears that, oh my gosh, he's going to leave me for a newer model. And I'm sitting here not doing anything. And this is where leading by example actually comes into play, because if you are going out and you're getting yourself into shape, and she's worried that you're going to leave her because you're all of a sudden, gone from doughboy to beefcake, she may want to go ahead and head the trouble off at the pass and start getting herself into shape. And so you can actually lead by example. She sees that you all of a sudden have a lot more energy. You're not just kind of laying around. You've got to be up and you got to be doing stuff, because you've got all this extra energy, because you don't have that extra 100 pounds that you're trying to fuel. So She sees the results of what your actions are, and that may inspire her too, or it may just have the exact opposite effect. Humans are amazing that way, because she may see it as, oh, well, he's not going to want me anyhow, so who cares? I'm just going to just become this blob of a human being. And, she can. You have no means of stopping her from doing that. And she may just enter into a kind of a depressive state where she just isn't going to try. And that's, again, where men come into play, and you actually are able to step up to that challenge and show her that you're not going to stop becoming the better man, because when you become that better man, you're actually helping her become a better woman. You're not going to just sit around and just let her, be a bump on a log. And that's one thing women often do with men. They might go off and do something to get them to get up off the couch. They may want you to start spending more time with them. And that's you. Are you willing to rise to that occasion? Maybe her love language is quality time. Are you willing to serve her in that way and give her the quality time that she wants? That's completely up to you. You have that choice. You have that ability, and you can, and you would do very well in doing so. Or you may decide to not, but these are the tests that you want to think of and address. And the way you pass these tests is by following the 4 pillars of a relaxed male. You continue to get yourself strong, more knowledge. You continue to learn skills and things and items like that. You work on your mind. You work on your body with the man's body. You work on finding your purpose, following your purpose, pursuing that purpose, getting that dream, making that dream come true, hitting those goals, taking the small steps to that results in massive action. And then you also build your men's community, because when you have those 4 pillars good and strong, you're going to provide the proper support for your wife. You're going to be able to help her when she runs into problems and she is thinking lowly of herself, or thinking lowly of a friend, or wondering why a friend's not being there for her. You are actually able to be there and be that fountain of positive energy, because you're using your community pillar as a means to get rid of the negative energy. And so you can be positive for your wife and help her to see the light instead of seeing all the dark. These tests help you become a better man. She wants to know, are you man enough? These are what these tests are actually asking. Are you man enough for me? And if you succeed on proving that you are going to continue improving yourself, you're going to continue getting yourself in shape, you're going to continue reading, you're going to continue having friends, seeing them on a regular basis, she will be a lot happier and a lot more secure in who you are, because you're bringing her along on those adventures. So guys, with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you go. If you like this show, if you heard something that caused you to think of somebody, or even just to think of, hey, that was a really good point, share this out. Every podcast platform that we have available now has some type of share function in it. Hit that share button, share it onto Facebook, share it onto Twitter, take a screenshot, share it onto Instagram, share it with all the friends and family and followers and communities that you have. If you're on Truth Social, share it on Truth Social. If you're on Parler or Getter or Reddit, share it into Reddit. I'd always love to have the wave of people that come from the Reddit shares. Get those from time to time, and it's always a really interesting experience to see how all that rush of people come in. I try not to share my stuff through Reddit because, those Redditors do not like it when you self-promote. They are not a fan of that. But if you are wanting to start to improve yourself, you're wanting to see if you can get those 4 pillars shored up, you can always go over to relaxedmale.com/coaching and sign and do a request for a consult. I'd love to sit down and talk with you and see if we're a good fit. If we're a good fit, awesome. If you're not, I'm going to let you know, dude, we're not working that well. Well, you're needing more help in this particular area, which I'm not that much of an expert in, but I know of a coach who would be able to help you. And so I'm not going to just leave you high and dry. We'll find somebody who can help you out and help you get onto your feet so you can become the man that you need to be. Stop being that nice guy who is always frustrated and angry because he's not getting what he wants, because no one's fulfilling their side of that covert contract. And the problem is that covert contract's there because you didn't bother to tell anybody that you had this expectation. And that's where nice guys always get themselves in trouble. They follow the red pillars and stay the victims. And this is a big problem. So share this out. Share it with your buddies. If you think of somebody in particular, share that out share that link out as a text message to your friend and let them listen to the show or this particular episode. So guys, with that, thank you again for listening. Y'all take care. Have a great rest of the week, and we will see you next Thursday. So till then, bye.